Greetings everybody and welcome back to Daddy DeGrand. DeGrand Daddy plays Pyre. Let's jump straight back into the game. We just finished another liberation trial, another liberation rite, and said goodbye to our oldest friend in this game, Hedwyn. He shall dearly be missed, but I am confident that he will have a good time back at the Commonwealth. Let's see what Wolfred has to say here. Following Hedwyn's liberation, you find Wolfred smoking at his pipe, his eyes averted. He looks up and smiles as I approach. Hello, my boy. Excellent work back there. Thank you for your perseverance. Though, I was just reflecting on how very fortunate I have been in all this. Not just me, but really all of us who had a chance to stand with Hedwyn here. Ours is, admittedly, a somewhat desperate plan. It was vital to me, should the Nightwings rise again, that it be under proper care and guidance. I was just thinking how well Hedwyn served in that capacity. Whatever it is to be the outcome of all of this, no doubt his presence shall be missed. I actually absolutely agree with him here. My agents and I, we were unsure of him at first. A common boy like that, completely unacquainted with the rights. But, in the end, I felt that he was worth a shot. Someone like him. Sincere, determined. With loyal friends and desperate to get home. Those qualities spoke volumes. Then he fell silent for a time. I have every faith that we shall strive on our behalf now in the Commonwealth. And it is my hope that he yet finds the one he sought. You and Wolfred speak a little more of Hedwyn for now. You are left wondering what shall become of him in the Commonwealth. He'll do fine. One way or another. I have the utmost confidence in his well-being. Let's read another page and then we move on with our lives, shall we? If there's one celestial landmark in which I would never again wish to tread, unless, of course, the stars besieged me to, it has to be the pit. 'Twas dark in there beyond all reckoning. If not for the Millith sorcerer's lantern, all of us, we all would have been lost. What lies within the pit is not to be invoked. Although I have no doubt our goodly Under-King shall be unable to prevent himself from boasting of how Millith sealed it there for an entire age. The thing yet lies there, on the edge of death. Through its connection to the stars, it gives the pit significance. Walk there with courage and a steady mind. I will keep that in my steady mind. There you are again, my lovely reader. How may I be of service? I knew I could talk to her. This place, where you currently reside, it must be Mount Eloliel, is it not? This was where those blasted scribes decided what to do with me. I had already failed in my mission to eliminate the demon Solium Mur. I did not anticipate his retinue, you see. 8 of the 8 scribes of the Book of Rites, known as the first Exile or the last of his name. A once proud emperor who neglected his nation and found penitence in the downside. They took me and some of my Beyonders alive, although do not expect to see account of that in their good book. Whether it was for mercy or for spite, I never became certain. They probably presumed that my expulsion for eternity would eventually have taught me some respect for them, but no, not yet. Not yet. Well, I do not mean that really. The scribes did spare my life. And were it not for that, I would never have been thusly trapped to then enjoy your company, O lovely reader. Now, having met my quota of blaspheming for the time, I think it best that we resume the normal sort of business between us, if there's any to speak of. And good hunting at the precipice. May you soon rid the downside of some useless idiot. I just did that, my girl. Successfully so. Let's do this all again sometime. I'm just very happy that she isn't all that blocky about conversing with me again. Alright, where do we go now? Oh yeah, back to that place, I remember. I don't think that we will stay a long time in here this time around. Not than last time. You once again find yourself amid the hidden splendors of Moonlight Alcove. Here you can await the time until the stars deign to shine for you again. Bide the time. Nobody wants to talk? Nobody wants to talk. Let's bide our time then. We have returned to a place of respite. Please make yourselves comfortable, such as you can. We are at the mercy of the stars, but I expect they shall shine bright again in time. As for me, I shall return by then, for there is something I must do. There, from atop the sacred mountain, you gaze down to the abyss that is the downside. You wonder when the stars shall align themselves once more. There, upon the sacred mountain, you and your companions once more await the night the stars begin to shine again. The plan of which you are all a part is set in motion. The Commonwealth, a nation that stood almost for 1,000 years, is in turmoil. If your companions return there through the liberation rites, what sort of place shall they be coming back to? Many moons pass. One evening, amid a downpour with no interest whatsoever in relenting, Wolfrid requests everyone to convene. You understand he has an announcement of some sort. Soon everyone is assembled and Wolfrid regards the group. Everyone, there's an aspect of our plan which I've not talked about with you at length. Look around at your companions. What do you see in them? He lets the question hang a moment in the air. I'll tell you what I see in all of you, and all of us. I see in all of us a living vision of the 8 tribes themselves, each one among them hailing from the different tribes which later formed our Commonwealth. I mean, not quite. We do not have any of these bog witches among us. And we do not have an actually sap, a tree man who is actually participating in the rites. You are just a bystander for the most part. My observation does not come from pompousness, I think. Rather, I believe the scribes themselves desired, or shall I say, desire such a course. Together, they created all the ceremony of which we are now a part. The exiles liberated through their rites went on to found the Commonwealth based on their values and their teachings. Thus, an instrumental aspect of our plan is to embody the spirit and the culture from which the Commonwealth arose so many centuries ago. That way, when we are all united on the other side in solidarity, the people all shall see that we reflect the values they yet cherish in their hearts, not merely our own. Anyway, we are still missing one key representative on behalf of Molten Millith, and I happen to know a certain bog dweller who I think shall fit the part most splendidly indeed. Molten Millith was the 4th of the 8 scribes of the Book of Rites, known as the Impassioned or the Wild Witch. The Mistress of Fire and Dust claimed she could shatter the world with a flick of her wrist. I've read about her a couple of times in here. I think she made some kind of ever-shining lantern. I remember that part. He motions for someone to approach. A certain bog dweller slithers forward. You recognize her straight away. Don't tell me it's Old Milt. Don't tell me it's Old Milt. Ah, Bertrude. Okay, good. It's fine then. It is my pleasure to introduce to you a dear old friend of mine whom I believe you've met. Welcome to the Nightwings, Bertrude. The bog dweller called Big Bertrude utters something guttural by way of greeting. We are to understand that ye require further aid from us. Yes, dear Bertrude, the time has come. Bertrude here is far away the most accomplished alchemist whom I have ever met. You soon will find that she knows much more about the rites as well. Bertrude looks you and your fellow exiles, each in turn. We frighten ye, apparent. Everyone is silent as Bertrude searches their impressions. Then tremble, small ones, and told well thy tongues, lest we remove them. She takes her leave without another word. Please excuse Bertrude's blunt behavior. I guarantee she will more than make up for it. Everyone disperses. It seems now that the ranks of the Nightwings are complete. Bertrude joined the group. You sense her powerful presence. Welcome aboard, girl. Now then, my boy, perhaps you notice that the stars are bright once more up there behind the stubborn rains, meaning it is time that we got back to business. Indeed, once more, several stars shine bright within the cold and storming sky. Let's take a good look. There are the choices we can make. How many? 3? 3 choices. Let's see. Lou the Vernal Star. Oh yeah, I want to fight Sir Deluge again. Not sure about the Chastity. And who's waiting for us in here? Oh yeah, I also kinda wanna fight the dogs, but I feel like I have to go for the British guy first. Where you at? There. Trieste the Silver Star, let's go. H. Manly Tinderstaff. Looking forward to that. Your next adversaries are to be the Chastity, headed by H. Manly Tinderstaff. They would prevail in the riots not for the freedom but for fame and fortune in the Commonwealth. You and the Lone Minstrel will then go over what he knows of your next adversary. Manly, the offspring of a semi-famous sap industrialist, he was born into wealth and lived in the lap of luxury, never having to fend for himself. When he came of age, he soon was offered cushy ambassador positions that required little more than a silver tongue to convince the Commonwealth that he was keeping busy. He soon grew so proficient at doing nothing much at all that he started spending all his family's riches to assert his fame and status. One day he attempted to pay off the wrong individual, a particularly stern Commonwealth diplomat, who promptly turned him in and had him sent downriver. Manly was very disappointed by all of this, but soon saw it in an opportunity. For he knew well that in the inner circles there were those who had gone into exile and returned. Thanks to his connections, he tracked down the Chastity deep in Wakingwood. He finagled his way onto the triumvirate using his well-worn skills. He in turn convinced himself that he would earn a position of great influence once he secured a way back to his home. He continues making hollow promises. A shame that this Manly and the Chastity are nothing like the scribe Lou Scalorian, and do not share his values. Now it is time we rested, reader, given all today's travels. You bid the Lone Minstrel Tariq a good night and take your leave. It is too late now to prepare for flight, so you're arranged to depart first thing in the morning. Hopefully we'll have a bit of better weather by then. I had an idea I would be able to speak to you here. And what's this? Vitruvius decks. Unusual etched cards depicting the greater titans. Probably for curses and enchantments. That was ominous. Let's see, what can we talk about, my dear? You find Big Bertrude looking about the Black Wagon in a disapproving way. She fixes her gaze on you. Her expression does not change. Such a clutter added to this wagon since we looked upon it last. Unsightly. Remember thee from our abode on Flagging Hands? Then thou must be the reading one to whom Sandalwood referred. She moves in close, studying you. You recall that the mere touch of a bog corone of the southern bogs can induce paralysis or worse. That's a distant region of the Commonwealth, left well alone despite technically being part of the nation. The cold and forbidding marshlands are home to the bog dwellers of Sar, colloquially known as crones. That one, such as thee, can extract meaning from that tome. 'Twas a feat we wish to witness for ourselves. Thy flesh has seen but the smallest fraction of the years which ours withstood, and yet we are expected to believe that thou canst understand the Book of Rites. Then she backs away, for someone else has joined you. Hail, Bertrude, madam. Is everything to your liking at this time, or is there something more which you require? We have been unable to locate a supply of rotworm gizzard extract among thy belongings. Other than that, we shall lodge no complaint at present. It is possible that Wolfred has a small supply among his possessions here. If you would care to accompany me, we may yet procure some. That would be agreeable with us. Then after you, madam. As I depart, you think you see the Lone Minstrel nod his head your way. Tariq is a good man. Okay, I think that's all we can do in here for the moment. Actually, no. I want to see what my dear Bertrude has in store for me first. She has a lot of enlightenment ready, so when we next use her, we should probably get her 1 or 2 ranks up, which is very nice. And yeah, I can't check these yet. Her blast fire is now in a wedge-shaped pattern. Pounds. Oh yeah, I think I've saw that. Launches forward across great distances. She can jump very far, but she's... I believe I've seen it earlier. She then is a bit stationary for a moment. And she can slither for a burst of speed. Has quite a bit of glory, so her damage against Pyres will be good. Her presence also pretty high. And decent hope and quickness. Let's see. This I'm going to sell away, of course. I'm not sure if this is going to be all that good for her. That one would be probably pretty okay too. She has pretty okay hope, so she should usually respawn rather quickly. Let's try this one. Let's try this one. Let's go. Alright, let's continue on with the journey. You rise early that morning, though Bertrude is already awake. She scowls at me. Good morning, reader. Bertrude. I trust your stay has been not too uncomfortable. Nay, Sandalwood. The comforts of this place are not for us. Fly us forth from here to lower ground. Let us get on with all of this. Reader, you shall do so once the group is ready. I thank you for your patience. I like that Bertrude talks business. I can appreciate someone who... Oh, there's something. I like someone who gets down to business and wants to get things done. That's an admirable feat. What's here? Soaring far above Scalorian shore, you notice Permitha gazing down the frozen cliffs below. That damn place down there. I like it least of all, I think, among everywhere he's been. I'm thankful that there has been no reason to return. Reminds me of my home is all. The hiring remnants. We all grew accustomed to the thinner air amid the cliffs that breaches a cloud above your commonwealth. But it was not the nicest place. Little wonder that my sisters settled for a rather warmer base of operations in this land there, by the nest of Trieste. Anyway, I'm pleased to have spent a little time as possible near here. Let's fly on by and go about our business. Agreed. Let's see, we can land here. And so Gilman would like that quite a bit. Or we can land here, where Permitha believes the route should be clear. Not quite sure whom I should go with. I think last time I said yes to something Permitha was offering, so let's go, Sir Gilman. Let's make a landing. Make a landing. There. Black Basin. Someone wants to talk to me. How swell. I'll see you again, huh? Wolfred is poring over a copy of the Books of Rites as you approach. He looks up at you and smiles. The Road of Freedom, written in a book that hardly anyone believes exists, and fewer still can read and comprehend. Sometimes I marvel how absurd all of this is, my boy. Tell me something though. I have spent so much time considering the book, but now so few with whom I could discuss it in much detail. You've had some time to turn through it by now, so what do you think? Worth all the fuss? Wolfred wants to know your thoughts about the book. I do find it fascinating. It is a very fascinating story that's been told in the book. You tell Wolfred that the book has fascinated you and that you have never seen anything quite like it. He nods slowly as you describe your experience with it. I share the sentiment. To have in your possession a genuine artifact from a forgotten time. How much of it exactly is true, and how much of it describes the retelling of events? I find it endlessly fascinating to consider, I must admit. He puts away his copy of the book with care. It is amazing that these volumes have survived all this time, I think. Whatever they are made of has withstood the ravaging effects of time quite well. And the ideas they are contained, they remain rather provocative as well. To think that the Commonwealth disavows of the existence of this book, despite official recognition of the 8 scribes. Although the reasons why are in there, written plain. How fascinating that its secrets have been kept for all this time. Anyway, you'll have to excuse me for my extracurricular interest in these teachings. I used to teach a version of it in history. To have access to the real thing has brought me some small pleasure. Let us be certain to preserve these volumes for whomever shall be next to use them. He turns his attention to other matters and bids you a good afternoon. Why, thank you. 41%. I really wanted to check the odds here. Also, I wanted to check out my enemies, the Chastity. Where are they? There they are. Yeah, they have been having a somewhat fierce losing streak. So, let's go and make things worse for them. You meet up with Sir Gilman, who suggested you go ranging with him through Black Shore. This night shall escort you, good Master Reader. Together you set out to explore the harsh formations around the Black Wagon. You find little to speak of other than desolation typical to the downside. Alas, that no adventure sought us out this day. You and Sir Gilman make your way back to the wagon. Though uneventful, your search helped case the burden weighing on you and leaves you with time to pursue your vocations. Oh, I am all over my vocations, you know me. You find a quiet corner near the Black Wagon's ground to delve into the secrets of the Book of Rites. Let's get some more presents in here. And I can only do glory if I have done this. Interesting. You attune yourself to the strange and mystic properties of the book, and inspiration comes to me in a flash. There we go. Tenacity. A bit more presence is really nice. Gives everyone a slightly bigger aura. Let's continue the journey. There's the nest of Trieste. We are going straight into the next rite. Man, I'm always getting so excited for these fights, for these games. Let's check out the wagon first. Oh, Sir Gilman is all fired up. Sir Gilman is fuming in anger or something, so much so that you are hesitant to approach him. But you approach him anyway. Exile is too light a sentence for this knight. He notices you then and seizes up. He begins acting rather nonchalant, as though his outburst did not just transpire. Oh, greetings to you, noble Master Reader. What brings you to this night this afternoon? He is attempting to make small talk. I want to know if everything is alright. You maintain a gentle tone with him and ask whether there is something he might wish to discuss. Sir Gilman perhaps could benefit from talking through his woes. He stands there for a time, silent and dejected, but then... Master Reader, this knight cannot escape the horrors of his past. It seems that you would hear them. Then you have this knight's apologies ahead of time for burdening you further with his troubles. Having said that, here then are the troubles you requested. You are of course familiar with the siege of the Spiral Sanctum. For this night, the memory of it is like a wound which will not close. This knight stood there on the front lines whilst the high-wing remnants descended upon us. So furious was their assault that our chain of command was ruptured instantly. We of the Sea Dominion, we require orders to perform our duty. Without such orders, why, we surely made a very easy target there that eve. One by one, then two by two, they picked us off, becoming boulders, some of them, shrieking with laughter all the while. This night, he saw his comrades cast aside like sea flies. How this knight survived, he does not know for certain even now. Perhaps it was that he attempted to pursue and to detain his own knight commander, whom you met when you first met this knight. That cursed Sir Deluge! If not for his craven cowardice, the Spiral Sanctum it might have held at least a while longer. But instead we were routed, rendering spineless both in form and deed. Sir Deluge was first to turn and flee as our chain of command crumbled. And as for this knight, he failed to catch his knight commander. He must have looked a coward too. Thus came the time for penance, and this knight, why, he insisted on the only course of action reasonable. He insisted on the sentence to the downside. And as you can plainly see, his wish was then fulfilled. Let's actually pretty amazing. This is the first man who actually volunteered, insisted on going down here. How absurd that he should re-encounter his old knight commander here soon after. Thus did this knight become obliged once more to Sir Deluge. We took to the waters in the Sea of Souls, where soon we met the Pyre hearts, a triumvirate exclusive to our kind. It was plain to see they lacked wherewithal, and Sir Deluge they thought he could provide it, the leadership they sought, and 'tis was too much of a coward to decline. As for this knight, being of the Sea Dominion, he had little choice but to comply, or so at first he thought. When this night, when he encountered you and the Nightwings, something awakened in him. With so little honor left to lose, and so much left to gain, it became eminently clear that this knight stood a better chance within your ranks than those of Sir Deluge. And there's little left to say. This knight cannot escape his past, and yet he chooses to believe that he was spared that day, not merely by coincidence. Perhaps Under King Ors yet has plans in store in which this knight may play a part. This night he clings however vainly to that hope. He slithers away his bad bow low. It seems best to leave him for now. You sense he feels relieved at having shared all this. Every time, my friend. Every time. Check the market. Hey guys, come on in. Say now, whatever happened to that smiley headwind guy? Did he really get out of here like I've been hearing or what? Yes. It was amazing. I will keep that for sure, but I will sell this off. There you go. And yeah, I'm not too interested in those. Really doesn't have a lot of things in store for me, so I think we are just going to say goodbye here. Come see us again, guys. Alright, boys and girls, let's commence the ride. Everything is prepared, and night is just beginning to take hold above the stifling vapors of the nest of Trieste when Wulfried gets your attention. Reader, I suppose you might remember our first meeting with that manly Tinderstaff. He would be mortified, of course, if you forgot. I would say that he is an embarrassment of my kind, but unfortunately I have known many others like him. We are a discontented people, I suppose. Anyway, when last we saw him, you might recall that I avoided him. We are not good acquaintances or anything, but he knows enough people in high places that he could be harmful to our plan, should he know of my involvement, and so... Oh, he dons his ritual mask. I shall have to be discreet here. As I am with the Nightwings once again, I can no longer hide from his outright. Perhaps though he shall take me for a common sap. Anyhow, it seems we have a right to conduct. So is he just going to wear these robes for show, or can I actually use him? Oh, there's a new one. What does this one do? 8 quickness on all of my enemies. Yeah, no. Thank you, but no thank you. Not that one, not that one. Nah, let's just go into the right away. Big Protruder can pounce long distances in the right or catch several adversaries in the Aura Blast. I'm going to use her this time around. I really want to see what she can do.
And it would appear his ranks grow stronger.
Yeah, but they only grow thin.
The bog-crone Bertrude, are we?
So yes.
How very strange that you befriended her.
I won't say we are friends yet.
Your adversaries in this right shall be the Chastity. Put out their flame and walk the path to liberty.
It's fire in here. Probably not so good for a man made of wood. He spoke English, but the music was too loud for me to understand what he said. My, what have we here? Why, the Nightwings come to grace us with their presence once again. Are you perhaps intent upon humiliating us even more after last time? Baby, you know it. That's exactly what I'm here for. You sense Wulfried reaching out to you. Reader, let us indulge him for the time. Perhaps he shall reveal something we can use to provide a distinctive, or a disincentive for his meddling. Just let him keep on talking. I shall attempt to remain hidden. And my, the colors of those raiments. I mean, they are rather gaudy in this light, I have to say. Though I mean no offense at this, of course. So, do you suppose the ride is going to commence soon? As much as I enjoy our chats like this, I do have to get going soon. If you must know why, I'm expecting an important message. From the other side, no less. Come down. I hear something is brewing out there. Some sort of unrest, So yes, it's very important message. Sent all this way by one of those imp couriers. And I must say, those little things, their services are certainly not cheap. Though I'm sure that I could get you a good deal on their services if you wish. Perhaps to contact a loved one back home, All I ask, of course, is that you stand aside and let the chastity prevail, as we all thought. For I have a date with Destiny not long from now, upon the fall of Solium. He continues talking for some time until, at last, the riot is set to start. To come back to your offer? No chance, Lance. Hold a moment, reader. The crone Bertrude slithers forward, wearing the raiments of the rites. Now that Bertrude is among our ranks, it would be best if you become familiar with her repertoire. You have no obligation to make use of her abilities, of course. Good Bertrude, please show the reader something of your aptitude. We expect thou shalt be soon inclined to bring our sorceries to bear. Long have we studied these rites to thine. Let us show thee what we know of them thus far. Okay, we can pounce.
Bertrude shows herself in full. Now I have to wonder what became of her accomplices.
So do I. So she...
accomplice in particular.
Okay, interesting.
You watch yourself around her, reader. None are sentenced into exile without sufficient cause.
Yeah, he's probably not wrong, but who decides what is sufficient? So, one jump instantly drains all of my stamina. That's something I have to keep in mind. And when I do, I'm actually rooted in place for a second there. Okay, I can actually really slither somewhat fast here. Interesting. Let's try out the blast. Really spreads out pretty nicely. Also charges pretty fast too. And yeah, I did the power blast there by accident, I think. There. Okay. That is our salute, I think. Now then, reading one. Know that our freedom is of little consequence to us. We side with you because of Sandalwood, because of his plan. We shall aid ye in the riots, and we shall aid ye in that plan. Thus we are at thy disposal and await thy bidding. There they are. Oh ho, my. Look at this wonderful assembly of exiles come from all different corners, Such a colorful retinue you and Nightwing have. You know, I heard the most preposterous rumors about you, that you are harboring an especially notorious criminal. One who has designs upon the Commonwealth itself. He looks right at Wolfred. But I could not imagine such outlandish tales could possibly be true, Anyhow, I so would like to meet everyone here. Hello, good Nightwings. I am H. Manny Tindersdorf, and truly it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Manny has intruded on your privacy as you set to choose your triumvirate. He could not be less welcome. He seems to be searching for someone in your ranks. You know what? He is a scumbag, but he is at least a charming scumbag, so I will be polite about it. You suggest to Manly that perhaps he ought to check on his own triumvirate in the key moments prior to the ride. Why, yes, of course. I was just taking the opportunity to bid all of you salutations, for I so enjoy getting to meet my fellow exiles face to face like this. Yes, there may be rules against the type of thing, but who's counting, am I right? I'm sure the scribes won't mind if I were here. Anyway, now that you mention it, I ought to go check on my wonderful colleagues. See you shortly and good luck. Manly leaves, at last leaving you to focus on the rights again.
Who shall strive for freedom?
Let's check them out really quick. I actually have no idea what kind of updates they can get, so let's do that. If he is banished, his setting shall automatically spawn near his pyre until he returns. It's not bad. After casting Sprout, Manly's sapling spawns faster than usual and gains a larger aura. I'm not sure. I don't quite know what casting sprout means. And he has a star splinter. When preparing to fling the orb, the beamer's charge of speed increases by 40%. Nothing too fancy. Then we have Avrek. The brief charge of time before Avrek jumps is virtually eliminated. He's one of the savages, so I need to be careful around him. He can jump like crazy. All of you know is certain is that he serves the chastity. Okay. After dosing the adversary's Pyre, the bearer's Pyre is restored by up to 8. That's a powerful talisman. And Sir Tidemont. He also has one of those. Oh yeah, I really need to be careful about them getting points. That might really end up biting me. After Sir Tidemont banishes an adversary, one of his allies comes back. Okay, I can play around that. I am going to use Bertrude for sure. I'm going to use Sir Gilman. I don't know if Sir Gilman is really that good. I think he's actually pretty mediocre against the Zap trio there. I'm going to go with Rookie. Hey man. I'm going to go with Bertrude. Bertrude, okay. Bertrude sounds very German to me. Bertrude is how I would spell it out in Germany. I think Teaser would probably be very good in here as well. But I also really want to use Gilman. He's such a fun character to use. And he also has a lot of enlightenment, so... Oh, you know what? We could also use Bay. I feel like I don't use her as much as I could. Yeah, let's go with Bay.
The choice is cast.
That insufferable sap. A blight upon his kind and an adversary we should like to pick apart. Are you quite ready yet, all Nightwings? I doubt you are. Because my colleagues of the Chastity and I, we have a trick or two we shall take you by surprise. Just watch.
Commence.
Yeah. Bam.
Path to glory laid bare.
Laid bare, there was nothing they could do about it. I'm going to wait. Or not. Fine then. I'll just jump for it. If they don't want to approach me, what am I going to do? Catch my drift? Yeah, this isn't going to do you any good there. Oh, that got me. Yeah. Nice. Great job, Bertrude. Bam!
In the name of Solium,
That was great damage to their Pyre. What's that? No shit talking. And there we go.
blow against the adversary's path.
They are making this quite easy on me. Perhaps you're merely toying with me, Well, all of this is very, very funny, but now stand aside and let old Manly wrap this up, won't you? Won't you?
That manly Tinderstaff has such a mind for politics. Would
That's so.
focused on the rights,
Yeah, if only, right?
and it is done.
And it was super simple. Super easy.
Wings prevail. And what a crushing victory it was.
Absolutely. They stood no chance at all.
The right is ended.
My word, how could this happen to me? You deceitful, ignorant, utterly uncouth pack of fools. Have you any idea what you've done? Wolfred watches the outburst in silence. Keep spotting off like that, Manly, and you shall reveal all we need to know. You harbor such a fear within your heart there, don't you? Coming from that aristocracy and now in exile. How they must speak of you. What would they think of you if you don't get out? Or even if you do? Wolfred remains deep in thought, studying his adversary. There, I see now. Then Wolfred recedes into the shadows. What? My hat? Who? Oh, I believe there must be some mistake. I have to go. Ta-ta! Fine evening to you now. It's been a pleasure, generally so. Manny stumbles away in a stupor. And there he goes. I've lifted certain burdens from him for the time. A bit of mercy for his sake. For my people's sake. As well, it should ensure he has no lasting memory of our encounter here, or running into me. Let's be off, before he catches up with us again.
Boundless are the teachings of the scribes.
There we go, rookie. You know, with all this rights business, there's been this one fancy move that I've been mulling for a while, and I think I just finally got how I could pull it off. And there it is. That's a very good one. Let's go with that. Bay just shy away from it. And there's Bertrude. Oh, damn, so close. Thus does our grasp of ancient sorceries grow ever stronger still. Let's see all she can do. While Bertrude's Pyre has more HP than the enemies, she deals an additional 5. After Bertrude pounces an adversary, she instantly recovers all her stamina. That's actually pretty cool. While swilling, she loses less stamina and is sliding faster. And once per ride after saluting her enemies, Bertrude turns them into fast-moving howlers. I'm not quite sure if that's good, but I'm not using the T all that much, so... While Bertrude's Pyre has less points, she deals an additional. I think this one is much more my alley. Bertrude's Aura Blast areas at arcs at a wider angle, banishing adversaries in a larger area. The charge time before Bertrude can use her Aura Blast is greatly reduced, and while her Pyre has less HP than the adversaries, her adversaries deal 10 less to her Pyre. It's not bad, but I like to be ahead of my enemies instead of below them, so I go with that one.
Secrets of the Wild Witch revealed. Until the next rite.
Until the next rite, indeed. The Witch of Gold is a celestial landmark pocked by ceremonial mounts that inhibits exiles too fast of a loading time. After besting the chastity with ease, you return to the wagon to find Wolfred and Tariq in the midst of conversation. Most strange that this one star should be illuminated now. This is not what I expected. Nor I, Wolfred, sir. Then Wolfred notices you there. Reader, Tariq and I observed a strange occurrence in the sky as all. It appears that the star of Kalimar Ropecaller is illuminated now. It is but another star, I expect. Our models and predictions of the cosmos did not anticipate this. Anyway, go see for yourself. I shall make the wagon ready in the meantime. You see only a single shining star illuminated far above. It is just as Wolfred indicated. Let's check it out then. Kalimar, the Rogue Star. The Rogue Star burns bright over an isolated little island in the Sea of Solus. Sir Deluge is already on his way. The Pyre Hearts again, huh? That's the first one we are facing someone for the 3rd time. Then we are summoned to the Isle of Kalimar, deep within the Deathless Tempest. According to the stars, the next rites shall be commenced here. The traitor Kalimar Ropecaller fled to this strange isle and met a fitting end. Have you been there before, Tariq? So long ago, my scars recall the time. Only the scent. It is the place from whence the creatures native to this land sprang forth. Reader, let's not concern ourselves with superstitions held about that place. We'll set forth at dawn and soon see for ourselves what to make of it. Whew, that was interesting. It was a very satisfying way to play. It's always a big amount of fun to show Manly who's boss. It is still raining. I hope that is going away by the next episode, in which I am looking forward to welcome all of you back. Until then, have the greatest of days.